Assalamualaikum and good greetings. So today we'll be watching a video titled "He Gave Up His Ancestry for a Different Religion." This is by the Royal Singapore. So I believe this will be about someone who live in Singapore, just a neighbor country of us Malaysian. Without further ado, let's watch.
皈依了之后，他们觉得说 fasting 啊，你封斋啊，你华人呢，你封斋会死啊，你真的是 Muslim 啊，还是你只是说为了赚钱，所以你才皈依的，可以赚马来人的生意，因为你是 Muslim 啊，他们可以吃你的东西嘛。刚刚的时候很多挑战啊。我的名字叫做 Ang Hoping 啊，连我的 Islam 名字叫做 Anis Ang。
Okay, interesting. So even in Singapore, they have the trend to, but the way he mentioned, he still remain having that name, right? And then, but also have an Islamic name. Because in Islam, you do not have to change your name unless your original name have a bad meaning, right?
连我在这边是卖炒粿条啦，我已经做了10年了，炒粿条。
炒粿条。
我从小是跟着我的祖母生活啦，那时候大概是有4、5岁的时候啦，一路来，因为我的祖母是卖煮炒的咯，我从小就跟着她啦，通常是有空的时候就去帮她洗碗啦，拿一些准备的材料啦之类的。我从小没有接触到那个伊斯兰的文化，从来没有的。那时候跟他完全不熟悉这个宗教的东西，从来没有去过问啊，也没有特别去探索啦。那时候我们家里是拜神的嘛，所以就跟着家里的人拜咯。他们拿香我也拿香，这样拜。到底不懂拜什么啦？因为很多尊嘛，每个尊的拜法又不一样，觉得很复杂啦。
Yeah, I wonder whoever grew up in that religion, how do they accept or make sense of, especially those kind of teaching, right? Meaning there's so many.
还没有皈依之前，我的性格好像比较暴躁咯，会比较没有目标啦，做人好像一天过一天的日子咯。那时候我时常去那给人走嘛，那时候那马来人就多了，他们的文化、他们的食物、他们的衣着、他们的背景好像跟华人不一样嘛，我就有点兴趣。每年过年他在给人那边的巴斯马龙，我时常去了，每次去的时候就觉得，这个宗教好像很充满着很奇妙这样，就很想去深入的了解哦。我就刚好走过一间那个店里面，有一个昂哥啦，我就问他你有没有一本《古兰经》可以翻译成华文的啦？他跟我讲没有，他就带我去隔壁那个皈依协会那边，就刚好那边有一个华文的老师嘛，他就介绍那个伊斯兰的故事给我听。然后之后我慢慢就进入这个宗教，我就皈依了。
Okay, the story is quite interesting in the sense that I'm not sure because whether he realized that he have no purpose aimlessly, etc., that he want to find something, and he sees that in the Malay culture or the Malay people there's something there perhaps, because the way he tell the story, when he go to the shop he straight away ask for the Quran. So that's where, yeah, it is interesting, meaning that what trigger him to seek specifically for that.
因为这个宗教是一个生活方式来的，它教导我们怎样做人，什么是对，什么是错，然后你就不会迷失你的方向，就觉得跟着这个宗教走的话，它的方式走的话，你不会走歪边啊，你不会走掉，你不会失掉，你不会变成说你有一个方向你可以走，你不会迷失掉。刚刚的会啦，一定会刁难你的啦，好像有些会说你真的是 Muslim 嘛，还是你只是说为了赚钱，所以你才皈依的，可以赚马来人的生意，因为你是 Muslim 嘛，他们可以吃你的东西嘛。刚刚的时候很多挑战啊，我们这些最多是精进没有出声的，因为嘴巴是他们想问你都可以，就精进不出声啊，混了很多一些好像自己很不舒服的问题了。通常是家里的人有点奇怪啦，因为我皈依了之后，他们觉得说你已经脱离了祖宗了，你没有拜祖宗了，因为我们是拜一位真主而已啦，所以就他们刚。
Yeah, that's interesting in the sense that from anyone from the culture where the ritual is tied directly to the ancestry, right? So if you left behind that, so it's not just from ritual to another religion, but as if you left behind the whole ancestry, the whole legacy, which for some group of people that is huge, significant, right?
那时候是觉得好像不很高兴啊，比如啦，我好像我有事情要求他们嘛，他的脸色就，你去求你的主吧，这样的情况。哎，你 fasting 啊，你封斋啊，你华人呢，你封斋会死啊，好像很多原因的，他们不知道我们早上吃很饱，连就是说你忍了，你封了13个小时，你再来开斋的话是 OK 的，是没事的。好像我们父母亲过世了之后哦，我们这些是穆斯林的，是可以去那个一样的那个礼堂那边的，只是说我们不要拿香跟去勾拍它。
Okay, so yeah, the distinguish between culture and religion, right? So he mentioned that because I can understand there's two types of fear, right? Where one is if you basically fear or hate another religion and your family member go to that religion, that's one thing. Another thing is the perception that if you go there, it will cut off any relationship between you, right? And that second fear, I think unfortunately because of misconception, misunderstanding, etc., it happened, right? And what he mentioned there is that from the family side, they fear that so once you become Muslim, now even if your parent died, you can no longer, you don't have any relationship, you don't no longer respect, etc. So when he said that, because I'm not sure what is the culture of Chinese ethnic people did when the parent died, etc. But there are some aspect of it is cultural. There are some aspect of it is religious, right? Meaning that it belong to Buddhism or etc. Right? So anything like that, we cannot, there's no mixing up, because as a Muslim, we acknowledge that Islam is from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and anything else that is worshipping something else, we cannot be involved. But anything just culturally, that's a different thing.
久了之后，觉得我真的是想皈依，而且对他们也是不错啦。时常大日子，我还会回去跟他们聚一聚啊。然后你对他们好，他们就不会觉得说这个宗教是不好的宗教。他们也很和谐啦，也不会说特地来为难我啦，他也不会特地刁难我这样啊。要改掉他们的想法哈，要一段时间。用语言方面要小心啊，比较好像善良的，不可以说对他好像很离异的。你要跟人家解释，你要口才很多方面啊，不可以说你很冲动啊，这样跟他讲，你要比较说圆滑讲，谢谢好意先跟他讲，解释原因给他听，知道先，他就会接受。
That is an interesting story and some good word of wisdom, I guess, from someone who actually go through that process. And I'm not. I was saying I can imagine how hard it is, but I don't think I can imagine personally, because I have never, go through a similar process. But it must be hard, and Alhamdulillah, he seems happy now, and he seems that. Meaning that the relationship with the family seems okay now after that challenging part. Now, something that is quite interesting, I think, with regard to someone who is of the same background as me, that for the most part, when we see Muslim, it is from the same race. Meaning in Malaysia, Muslim, generally speaking, are the Malay. If I go to the stall there and that guy there is selling char kway teow, and just from the look of it, I could not have guessed that he is a Muslim, right? Unless if, you know, at the stall there's some I don't know, Bismillah there, or because in terms of the guys, right, in terms of the men, there's no how to say significant change in terms of clothing. It is different for women, of course. People will not be meaning that it's obvious that, wait, you know, are you Muslim because of the change in dressing, right? But as a guy, you know, I wouldn't have guessed if I just see what his name just now somewhere. I would not have guessed, and that's quite interesting in the sense that because we should wish, as a Muslim, we should wish that okay, I'm talking about my, you know, the reality in Malaysia, right? Because the majority of the Muslim are the Malay. The amount of Muslim in terms of the Chinese and Indian community is still relatively very small, and of course we hope to change that, right? But it is interesting in the sense that subconsciously we still you know, we do expect, or how to say, we do not anticipate when we face a Chinese and an Indian, for example, and they might be Muslim, because the first assumption is it's not, right? So anyway, I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but it's just pondering in my mind, just looking at him, because it is quite interesting, because he just appear normal as someone who sells char kway teow. Would I have ever guessed that he is a Muslim if there's no other signage, right, that indicates it is? So, and of course I do hope that there's more and more people like this that become Muslim, and until the point that the default assumption is Muslim unless there's some sign of otherwise, right? Because right now the assumption is non-Muslim unless there's a sign, because the majority of Chinese are not Muslim, for example, in Malaysia as well as in Singapore. Wallahu alam. Hopefully that the tools can be spread more actively, inshallah, and more people will come to become Muslim. Wallahu alam. Thank you for watching. See you next time.